Morning, grade fives. Today's lesson is going to be on metals and non-metals. All right, South Africa is very fortunate to have a lot of raw materials, metals that are mined from rocks called ore, and these raw materials are used to manufacture goods. So we are very fortunate that we actually have a lot of raw materials that we can mine, which actually makes South Africa kind of rich in raw materials. And then we often send those raw materials off to other countries, such as China, who manufacture these goods into other objects that we can use on a daily basis. All right. If they're not metals, then they're otherwise known as non-metals. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the two different objects here, and we'll be able to see the difference between metals and non-metals. Now, a word I'm going to use often is the word properties. All right, a property is a characteristic or a factor that is specific to metals or other characteristics that are specific to non-metals. All right, so metals are often used because they are super strong, all right, and do not break easily. All right, so they are very hard, but we do know that gold is a lot softer than the other metals. It's the softest of all the metals. All right, metals are shiny, but generally shiny, but some of them lose their shininess and they just need to be buffed up and cleaned up in order to get their shininess right back. Another property about metals is that it's ductile, all right? It can be pulled or drawn out into thin wires. We say that it is ductile. So we've got two different words here. One is malleable, which means it can bend easily, and the other one is ductile, which means that it can be drawn into wires. All right, here's a typical example of copper that's been drawn into the wire, into the plastic to create electrical wiring. Right. Another good and very important property of metals is that they conduct heat very easily. All right. So if, for example, we were going to put a ruler, this is just a ruler, over a flame, all right, or we were going to put a copper rod over a flame, the copper rod would definitely heat up much quicker than the ruler. The ruler is plastic and will melt, so it's not a good conductor of heat. All right. The same with the wire. It's a good conductor of electricity as well. This wire that we use for electricity is mostly used is called copper. All right. We've gone through the properties of metals now, and what I just want to speak about now is what we use these metals for. So at this stage we're on metals, and later, just now, we'll go on to non-metals. All right, so metals, because they are strong and they shine often, we use metals for jewelry. There are two different types of metals over here. This one over here is gold, and this one over here is silver. Gold is far more valuable than silver, but both of them are valuable and are mined from rock. All right. Unfortunately, the gold is gold and silver can bend easy. I'm going to bend the silver bangle for you. Look how easily that bends. All right. We also have another one called steel. Okay, we use steel a lot in manufacturing things. This is very strong. As you can see, it's not a shiny product at all. Okay, but it can be buffed up, and probably if we just took a little bit of sandpaper, we could just sand it and make it a little bit shinier. All right. Not that I'm going to spend too much time on that. We have another type of material, another type of metal, and it's called iron. And iron is super, super heavy and super strong. This is a weight that the bodybuilders use to put on a bar, and then they get stronger using this weight. Iron is used for lots of different things, like for pots, for cooking and all of that. Potjie pots are made from iron. But guess what? Unfortunately, iron is the metal that actually rusts the most. So often we have to coat it in another product to stop it from rusting. Or like your potjie pots, your parents need to, once they finish cooking the potjie pots, they're supposed to coat it with an oil substance so that it will keep it from rusting. Okay, so often we paint iron or we coat it with an oil substance. All right. So here we have copper. This is also a piece of copper. This is a piece of copper wire there. We have gold, silver, and steel. Right, over here, this is iron, and this is another product, another example of copper. All right. So what happens is that over time, the copper pot becomes very dirty like, okay? And we don't say that it rusts because this over here, this orange is called rust. Okay, the orange on the iron is called rust, but on the copper, it doesn't rust as such. It tarnishes and it goes all green and ugly. So after a while, you would need to polish it up. But the advantage is that you can polish it up with some sandpaper, makes it a little bit rough, or you can get a product called Brasso, and then you can put the Brasso on and buff it up nicely to make it shiny and pretty again. So this is the pretty color of copper, and this is the old tarnished color. All right, so we also have other metals which I don't have here called aluminium, and aluminium is used to make aircrafts because it's very light and also it's very strong. All right, so when airplanes are made of aluminium, they are huge, big transport, vehicles, and they're in the sky and they have lots of people in them, but then they don't break. So it's strong, but it's also light. It needs to get up into the air. All right, we also have zinc. Zinc is used to cover iron so that iron does not rust. All right, so now we're on to the next page. Oh, before we go there, let's just have a look at the non-metals that we have on the counter over here. Okay, non-metals, example of a non-metal is plastic. All right, what can we do with this? We can bend it. Oh, I'm so scared it's going to break in my face. But we can bend it. Hang on, would I be able to bend a copper rod? Absolutely not. Well, not with my bare arms anyway. Okay, so we can bend it, right? Glass is an example of a non-metal. So is porcelain and pottery, because these are made from sand. These are not made from metals, all right? Wood is another example of a non-metal. Funny enough, so is air, an example of non-metal. I just bought some other things over here. This is wool. Oopsie, it breaks really easy. Okay, as you can see, plastic, another non-metal, it breaks easily. All right, and if I were to take this bottle over here, right, don't do this at home. It smashes. It smashes into a whole lot of little pieces. All right, it's glass. If I were to take the iron now and hammer hard on this iron, there's no ways I'm going to break it. Absolutely no ways. All right, so you all know I'm a little crazy, but that's just an example of non-metals. There's my non-metals. There's a toilet roll, it's also cardboard, paper, another example of non-metals. All right, they're not so strong. All right, but there's a purpose for both. Okay, just a quick one. As you can see over here, we've got stainless steel bright tongs, and on those stainless steel bright tongs, because they conduct a lot of heat, they've got this rubber coating. All right, so if there was no rubber coating and I'm doing my braaiing over here, and then it's so close to the flame, all of a sudden this whole strip would heat up, and if I grabbed it like that, I'd burn my hands. So rubber is not a good conductor of heat. Steel is a very good conductor of heat. Okay, for the same reason, we cook in metal pots, all right, but we use non-metal products to use for handles so that we don't burn our hands. All right, got it. Okay, now we've got another thing to chat about. When two or more metals are mixed together, we say that they are made from, they are alloy, okay? Two or more metals, such as stainless steel is an alloy. Stainless steel is made from, iron, carbon, and chromium. All right, this is a product of stainless steel, okay? So it's super shiny, which is nice and looks good on your dining room table. And at the same time, it can be bent. All right. There we go. So it can be bent, but it's strong and it's shiny. So all the properties of different metals are now used to make up one good product. All right. Often this happens where the properties of different metals are used and combined together to make a good product. All right. Bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. It is hard and stronger than copper alone. All right. Then what we must remember is also often we make an object from a cheaper metal, all right? Because the cheaper metal is cheaper, you know, we haven't got a lot of money to spend and waste, but we still want our things to look pretty. And that's why often, like this is stainless steel, but this one over here is a 5-cent piece, okay? We all know what a 5-cent piece looks like, all right? It's made of steel and plated with copper. So the inside is nice and hard, but it is plated with copper to keep it shiny. So we've now learned 2 new words. The one is alloy, which is a mixture of 2 different types of metals, or of a non-metal and a metal together. And then we've also used the new word plated, which is when we cover a metal with another metal. All right. So that's it for those first 2 pages of your notes. And I want you to go on to activity 3. It's just a little experiment I want you to do at home. And all you need to do is use 4 small pieces of dull metal. So an example of a dull metal in this situation, well, this is definitely a dull metal, isn't it? It looks terrible, this piece of copper. This is another dull metal over here. Let's have a look at what I've got here. This is another piece of copper, and it is actually quite dull. You're going to have to go and raid your dad's garage to try and find some few things. This is a piece of silver. I've gone and bent this bangle, and it will be shinier if I clean it nicely. So you could use that. You could use any pieces of metal. This is a copper bangle. All right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take 4 different cleaning materials. Actually, all you need to do, is you need to use one product, but 4 of them. So let's say we choose the 5-cent piece. You choose the 5-cent piece, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take 4 different cleaning products. All right, sunlight soap maybe. Maybe you decide to use vinegar. Maybe you decide to use toothpaste. Toothpaste also cleans dirty metals. All right, and you're going to take a soft cloth, and you're going to take a cloth and you're going to rub your coin. Okay, let's all use a coin. If you've got something else you want to use that you've got 4 of, then that's fine. But in this situation, you probably have 4 5-cent pieces lying around the house. You take your coin, you're going to rub for the same amount of time. So if, for example, you rub the 1 coin for 30 seconds, you must rub all 4 coins for 30 seconds with the different types of cleaning agents. All right. And then you need to please answer the table and the questions below with regards to which is the best cleaning agent for your metal. All right. So thanks for listening to me, and I cannot wait to see you guys. Bye.